Bom dia a todos e muito obrigada pelo convite. Good afternoon to all the participants. Many thanks to Marta Suarez and the DSA colleagues for inviting me to speak at this 2023 Global Summit of the Dynamic Spectrum Alliance. I'll introduce myself to the distinguished audience. My name is Alessandra Lustrati. I am the Head of Digital Development in the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office of the UK Government. I am speaking to you from London, and I'm very sorry I cannot be there with you in person, but it's great to have this opportunity of joining you, at least virtually. Earlier today, you have heard some opening remarks from the UK Council to Rio, and also one of my team colleagues based in Brazil is also in attendance at the summit. So you can see how eager we are to participate in whichever way we can in this important event. I hope you've been enjoying some really productive discussions so far. And now I will only take about 10 minutes of your time to do three things. I'll provide a short overview of the UK government's digital development policy and programming approach as part of our wider international development work. I'll give you a quick whistle-stop tour of a flagship initiative, the UK Digital Access Programme. And importantly, I'll speak in particular of how we see the role of spectrum management in support of inclusive connectivity. And I'll focus on our collaboration with DSA as part of this programme. So first of all, in the UK government, we define digital development as the support to inclusive, responsible and sustainable digital transformation of our partner countries. We think this is really important as we see digital technologies as a key enabler of economic and social development globally. We want to see the benefits of digital engagement being spread more widely and equitably, especially for excluded or underserved communities around the world, and for vulnerable groups like women and girls or people living with disabilities. But we are also conscious of the risks and challenges of the online world. So we focus on making digital inclusion responsible by promoting security and safety. And at the same time, we promote environmentally sustainable forms of digitalization, also looking at how digital innovations can help with climate change adaptation and resilience. So in a nutshell, our policy and programming work in digital development connects the four interrelated objectives of digital transformation of the economy, the government and society, digital inclusion, digital responsibility, and digital sustainability. One of our flagship initiatives, which embodies this integrated approach to digital development, is the UK Digital Access Programme. This is a program that we've been implementing since 2019 and is operational in Brazil, Indonesia, Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa. The goal of the Digital Access Programme, or DAP for short, is to catalyze inclusive, affordable, safe, and secure connectivity for underserved communities and marginalized groups. The DAP includes three pillars or components. Pillar one of the program is focused on promoting enablers and models of digital inclusion. We do this by supporting conducive policies, regulations, licensing frameworks, standards, and institutional capacity at the systemic level, while at the market level, we've been testing and demonstrating viable and scalable or replicable technology and business models for inclusive connectivity. All this is complemented by support to digital skills and access to locally relevant digital content and services to ensure connectivity becomes meaningful and productive. Pillar two looks after building the cybersecurity capacity of governments, businesses, especially SMEs, and users, with an emphasis on promoting basic cyber hygiene awareness for underserved groups, as well as online safety and responsible practices in relation to data privacy and protection. Pillar three builds on all this foundational work to promote more advanced digital skills and local tech entrepreneurship, stimulating digital innovations and solutions for local development challenges, and creating opportunities for tech sector partnerships and investments. We have so far reached more than 8 million beneficiaries through the DAP and have seen their digital inclusion significantly improved, which is great, but you could say it's just scratching the surface in a world where 2.7 billion people are still offline. But what is most important is actually the demonstration effect of all this work. By working with local and international partners, And by engaging with key stakeholders like telecom regulators, ICT authorities, the internet providers ecosystem, and even community networks, we've delivered technical assistance, built local capacity, and we've been able to learn and share evidence on alternative or complementary ways of achieving inclusive digital access, thereby amplifying the impact of the program and supporting our partner countries to make an informed choice as to the models they want to adopt for the sustainable digital inclusion of their citizens. And I come finally, and most importantly today, to the specific partnership we developed with DSA through a project which is part of the wider DAP and is focused on promoting spectrum availability to increase access to affordable, sustainable connectivity for those communities that are still unserved or underserved. We have implemented so far more than 100 projects under the DAP, but the collaboration with DSA as one of our key global partners is one I am particularly proud of. Marta and I designed the overall concept together back in 2020 to respond to the evident need for raising more awareness on spectrum availability approaches and to support partner countries in extending what I like to call the connectivity value chain truly to the last mile. You will hear the DSA colleagues speaking in much technical detail about this, but I would like to highlight just a few basic takeaways from the experience of our project with DSA so far. First takeaway, the realization that innovative approaches to spectrum management, for example, to enable sharing and a more efficient utilization of this scarce resource, can be truly transformative of the wireless broadband connectivity market, which in turn moves the dial towards affordable access for those who are otherwise being left behind in a digital world. Second takeaway, the positive impact of demonstrating the business case for innovative spectrum approaches. Through this project, the DSA conducted really useful studies to estimate the economic impact, for example, of the 60 gigahertz band. Similar type of analysis, together with tailored technical advice to key stakeholders like telecom regulators, have opened up new opportunities for further improvements and reforms in spectrum management. Through the DAP, we also found it very useful to share and compare experiences of different countries which can be transferable or adapted. For example, the spectrum sharing framework used by Ofcom in the UK to facilitate access for local networks in remote areas. Thirdly, the engagement with the private sector is key. On one side, reassuring operators that dynamic sharing approaches to spectrum can be a positive sum game, expanding the user market and providers ecosystem to everybody's mutual benefit. To do this, we need a thorough understanding of local connectivity markets and their capacity. So the DAP project with DSA includes analysis of the status of small-scale ISPs and WISPs in the 5 countries, including Brazil. This provides vital insights to both the industry and the regulator and policymakers. We have also identified the opportunity to further strengthen the institutional capacity of WISP associations to promote a more diverse and resilient connectivity market. Last but not least, and to conclude, achieving sustainable inclusive connectivity requires a multi-stakeholder approach and keeping an open mind when it comes to different technologies and business models, as long as they are useful for the underserved at the last mile. DSA is doing a great job of collaborating with our other DAP global partners, like the International Telecommunications Union, ITU, and the Association for Progressive Communications, APC, to ensure that inclusive approaches to spectrum management are mainstreaming to all our work on affordable access for the underserved. DSA has also worked collaboratively with many of our local DAP partners at country level, including importantly local research bodies and universities, like, for example, the iLab Africa at the University of Strathmore in Kenya. Well, my time is almost up, so I just want to now thank you all again for listening, and I look forward to continuing the UK government's collaboration with DSA on closing the global digital divide. Thank you. And I wish you a great continuation of the summit. Goodbye.